We also had Dion chiming in about the situation. What did you make of that story and that whole situation that got both Shedeur and Dion on social media talking about former players of Colorado?
Well, all they did was bring more attention to it by quote tweeting and talking about it and firing back. Shedeur and Dion collectively have a reach on social media that is exponentially greater than even The Athletic. And so The Athletic might have however many hundreds of thousands of followers it has between its main account and the writers who work for them. But Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders Jr., those guys collectively, when they tweet, people listen. They retweet. They quote tweet. They write articles about it. Well, the article was interesting, but it wasn't anything earth-shattering. It was like shocker. Some players who got run off in a pretty aggressive way by a head coach, which is not uncommon.
Right.
You know, they had some things to say about what had happened, and I don't think that any of it was just overly stunning or reflected, you know, just horrendously on Colorado. I don't think there was any real major news in that article. It was just sort of getting the perspective of those who had been run off by a really high-level, prominent college football coach. That's a very natural article for somebody in these
and
sports
it's a
media,
business now.
Yeah, and so I mean, I don't know that anybody's out here, you know, saying that oh, this is Deion Sanders. Wow, he ran these players off. Wow, what a terrible guy, terrible coach. Like, no, I think obviously he rubs some people the wrong way, and he's a little bit aggressive with some of his roster management tactics and techniques, but all he really did was bring more negative attention on himself by trying to strike back at what was just a pretty straightforward piece about some of the players who, you know, are no longer with that program.
And David, I readily admit that, you know, if it's me and my son, I don't know that I would really like the treatment and some of the rough and tumble that's going on. But you have to understand, industry-wide, we've really changed from, you know, kind of recruiting mom and telling her how good her spaghetti is and you know, and showing them the trees and the flowers on campus. It's cash on a barrelhead. It's a business. And if you don't like it, you can leave anytime you want.
Yep. Yeah, you can transfer as many times as you want to. Pretty soon we're going to have guys who are on one team in the fall semester in college basketball and then on another team in the spring semester. I mean, I'm not joking you. That day is coming, and it's coming sooner than we can wrap our minds around. And so, yeah, I mean, it's been a business for a while. It's just more over the.
We've torn the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that anybody's saying that, you know, Deion Sanders doesn't have a right to tell players that they're not going to get to play for Colorado. I mean, whatever, it is what it is. But I mean, the fact that, you know, he took such exception to that article. And by the way, the one guy that he was going at back and forth with, one of them at least, was turned out to be an FCS All-American corner at Austin Peay. He's going to go to a UTEP now and be probably one of the best group of 5 defensive backs over the next couple of seasons. So, you know, it's not as if I don't know that Deion Sanders actually made the right call on all these decisions. So, you know, if nothing else, maybe him being so forceful about the guys who did leave and whatever, maybe that discourages players who are on his team now from leaving, right? Because maybe they see that and they're like, wow, I don't want to be on the receiving end of a hateful tweet from a coach who has 3 million followers, right? So maybe there was a little bit of strategy from his end on that.
Maybe.
But they wanted to be treated like professionals, and now, by golly, you're getting it.
Right, and that's only going to continue because this Supreme Court, not Supreme Court yet, obviously, but it's a lawsuit that's got to be settled. So it's not in the Supreme Court's hands, but it's an important lawsuit, the House versus NCAA. I mean, that's going to be another massive straw that gets us one step closer to breaking the camel's back and the players becoming direct employees of the schools.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. But, David, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon. Or, excuse me, next week.
All right.
Good Lord.
Yep. No, well, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You will talk to me tomorrow.
I'm going to talk to you when I talk to Johnny.
That's right.
Yep. All right, guys.
See you, David.
Appreciate it. Yep, thanks.
David Cobb joining us every single week to talk college football and college basketball, and plenty going on in both, with kind of both these spring transfer portals coinciding with each other. And so man, I do not envy David when he has to cover both of these and be all on top of what's going on in the national scene for football, transfer portal, and basketball. So busy guy. But let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk some baseball. It's a very busy weekend in Major League Baseball. So we'll talk that and more next on Sports Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like, I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
This is the month when Memphians and visitors spend a lot of time downtown. And when you're surrounded by all the Memphis inmate chaos and desperately need to find some peace and quiet, steer yourself to Barbaro Alley and Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. At Bell Tavern, you'll find cool air, low lights, and the best cocktails you'll find anywhere in town, not just downtown. Spend a little time cooling your heels and everything else, and watch the parade pass by at Bell Tavern, your Memphis and May headquarters.
Hi, folks, the Chevy Sheriff with good news for car and truck buyers. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has acres of new Chevys and GM certified in stock, ready for immediate delivery. A $6 million used car inventory and cars and trucks for every budget, and a lot specializing in cars and trucks under $99.95. If you've been turned down by another dealer, see us at Sunrise. We specialize in financing, and SunriseMemphis.com is home of guaranteed credit approval. Cars and trucks may not be free, but at least they're affordable at Sunrise. Together, let's drive to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good afternoon. A couple of wrecks in their clearing stages. Here's what we're seeing. Heavy traffic now on 240 east from Mill Branch out to 385. It's already crawling over here at times. It's really heavy, too, on 240 east as you work your way up past Poplar towards Walnut Grove. It's just busy over here on this time of the afternoon on this side of town as traffic increases south of Memphis. Here we go. 55's crank it up southbound down through South Haven. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your Mother's Day headquarters. Shop local this year for Mother's Day at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone or something like that. You wake up this morning and the Cardinals are no doubt bad, and the Athletics might be good. The Athletics sitting only a game under 500 right now and playing fun baseball. I know they just got done with a series against the Marlins, which is another bad team out there. But Athletics have been surprising people this year. And on the other side, the Cardinals just continue to fall and fall more and more, deeper and deeper into the abyss that it feels like there's no coming out of this season.
They do, and I'm not going to direct it at Oliver Marmol.
Right.
He got handed
nothing.
That first year he got handed, kind of the goodbye tour, the final dance, and then last year just nothing, and this year not much better. A little bit better with Sonny Gray, a little bit better with some starting pitching. Relief pitching has been mostly pretty good, but it's just such a grind to score. The one game they won against the anemic, the woeful Southsiders was 3-0, and that was just clawing that one out.
Yeah, 3-0
Friday
game
night.
that felt like a half run to nothing. I mean,
It sure did.
It was terrifying.
It felt like an
entire
8 to
game.
nothing.
Yes, it felt.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the losses, a lot of the wins this year. I could make instead of going crazy and blowing it like y'all were fearing that
Still
I would.
time.
I can make the stronger case that Oliver Marmol is doing a great job and lucky to be 15-19 than I can eviscerating him.
You've been making that point for the longest, Brett.
That's fair.
I mean, you go through a lot of these wins and not many losses, but mostly of the wins, and at bat here, at bat there, and it changes. The baseball is very, very nebulous. We know that. We know you can hit a 400-footer scorched, and the center fielder not move an inch and catch it. And then you can hit a duck snort over in no man's land behind first base, where Oregon State hit it against Arkansas, and where Mookie Bettis hit one Saturday night in his last at bat that plated a couple against Atlanta after scalding a couple pitches earlier, and you get a rally going. We know how fractious baseball can be.
No, absolutely, and that's baseball, Brett. I mean, that's how it goes, and so it's been one of those seasons, and but you're right. I mean. And this is nothing against this player at all. He's just not ready, but was forced to start Victor Scott in center field to start the season.
Opening day.
Yeah, and he's just absolutely not
Ran out
ready.
to the line opening day.
Yes.
What's he hitting in Memphis? Is he over 100?
I think
even
so.
AAA.
I think he's been better in AAA, but I mean, man, and it's nothing. Again, it's nothing against him. He just was not ready to be at the major leagues. He was in AA last year and really, really struggled. He's hitting 186.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked it's that high.
Yeah,
that's 100 points higher than in St. Louis.
It sure is, which is wild. But yes.
What's Jordan Walker hitting here?
Well, that's a good question. I saw a highlight that the Redbirds posted the other day about him. He is batting .240 here in Memphis.
That's about 100 higher than in St. Louis.
It is almost 100 higher than it was in St. Louis. Still hasn't hit a home run though, so we're still sitting on 0 home runs for Jordan Walker this season.
Thought he was next phenom.
Sure.
Just everywhere you turn,
Yeah.
the Cardinals have missed.
It's been a really, really bad season, and I don't see any.
Last year I checked out about August 15th. I said I can't watch another pitch.
Yeah, it was about August.
And football's getting here.
That's kind of.
I hope I can make it to August.
Well, that's what I was about to say, Brett, because that's kind of the sweet spot where last year you were kind of, this is bad, but it's 1 year. We'll stick to it, and then August rolls around. You're just coming off media days, and you're like, okay, it's football season. Forget that. We're on to football
football's
season.
on Thursday through Monday. Yeah.
This year feels different, and I think you'll be lucky to make it to August. I do.
And another thing to Oliver Marmol's credit, I think the division's a little better than I thought it would be.
Sure.
I don't know if it's gangbusters, but it's better.
It's certainly better. I mean, I think what the Cubs are doing this year, what the Brewers are doing this year, that series this weekend was a lot of fun, and both teams playing at a really high level. I think those two teams are good. I think the Pirates, while not, I don't think a good team yet at all, they're better. They're making a step. They're taking steps in the right direction. Reds certainly
better than St. Louis.
Yes, 100%. And Reds are a fun team. They're taking hits now and then, but they're certainly a better team. It seems like every other team is improving. Maybe, like you said, not the best division in baseball by any means, but it's better.
And here's a gigantic difference between Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh are chest jersey popping of being BFIB, of best fans in baseball. Good fans, but not a lot of them in either place. And a few years ago, the Reds owner said we would sell if anybody would buy us.
It's a great point, Brett. I mean, it really is. We're talking about two completely different ideas of franchises.
I mean, the Cardinals exist in a world that they think they're in the championship flight.
Mm-hmm.
The Reds and the Pirates, no, they're starting Sunday. And all the scores are even, and they're in the sixth flight.
Yep. But they're both making steps in the right direction, and I think both have young teams.
Okay, that might have been editorializing.
Well, it was.
That was really close.
It was really close, Brett. But I think you're still good. But I think another thing about those three teams is.
But I'm not cracking on the fundamentals of the sport. It's not. This isn't Manfred.
Fandom. This is fandom, and that's okay. That's completely.
This is fandom of brace yourselves. It's going to be another long haul, miserable year.
A life of a Cardinals fan, man.
Thank you, Johnny.
I know it, Johnny. It's tough out here.
Hey.
If you want cheap hotel rooms and cheap tickets, go in September.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, this is the life I chose.
Yeah.
I know, John. It's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough.
It's already a little bumpy road, man.
Yeah, bumpy might be an understatement. But I do think another thing, the difference between the Reds, the Pirates, and the Cardinals, I think the Reds and the Pirates have a very bright idea of what their future looks like. I think they have a lot of young prospects. The Reds, we're seeing them play right in front of our eyes. The Pirates, still a couple in the minor leagues, obviously Paul Skeens, but some young guys with the majors that are playing well. I just don't know how much excitement there is in St. Louis around the Cardinals for the young guys that are either playing right now or that are coming up. It just doesn't have that same feeling as the Reds and the Pirates.
5 straight for the Phillies. They set atop the National
really well.
League East. 686 baseball in the National League East. That's got the Braves in it, and it's got the big spending Mets in it.
Yeah, and they've been playing really well. And I think I saw earlier today at home they've won 9 in a row, and they're going right now up 5-1 over San Francisco. So it looks like another win, coming for them. So yeah, they've been looking really good.
Minnesota finally lost.
Finally, so they'll go tonight against the Mariners in what should be an interesting series against two 19-win teams. That'll be a fun series. There are some really good, and I feel like I say this a lot, but there are some really interesting series starting tonight.
Yeah, and you look at the A's, 1 under 500, only 3 back in the all-important loss column of first place Seattle.
That's right.
I know very early,
but
it looked like they were going to lose 125 games.
Yeah, and I mean, this roller coaster of last year, how historically bad they were for so long into the season, and then all of the off-field relocation. Will they, won't they move to Vegas? Where are they going to play? Now they're going to be the Sacramento A's and all of that. But these guys are coming
just
out.
A's.
Or just the A's. Yeah, we don't even know. I mean, conflicting reports, I guess, on that.
Yeah.
But this team's come out and they go out there and continue to play hard. And 1 game under 500. I don't think I would have thought we'd be saying that on May 6th. That had a 20-run output Saturday against the Marlins.
What was that final? 20-4.
Yeah, I think let's do a quick look. It was a blowout. It was 20-4. That's right. So Marlins got 7 hits while the A's got 21 hits.
Well, just think if you had the Marlins plus 15.5.
Oh man. Unfortunately,
that'd be a tough L to take, wouldn't it?
Sure would be. Rough life to win if that's the bets you're placing down on.
Yeah, you might need to rethink a lot of things.
I think so. I think so. But they're fun, though. I mean, if anybody's actually sat down and watched the A's this year, if you haven't, I'd tell you go watch them because they're kind of fun to watch. I've been enjoying watching them.
It's a very anonymous roster.
It is. And soon we'll be, I guess, moving to Sacramento and who knows?
Playing anonymously there.
Playing anonymously there and just kind of a pit stop before going to Vegas. So What a life it must be to be an Oakland A's baseball player. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, they've got a tough patch in front of them. Over the weekend, the Clippers are out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said the other day, what a lonely existence. Can you think of any separation of other teams around sports between the Boston Celtics and the Clippers? And they're out again, and they've tried it all.
They have. I mean, you brought that great number last week of like how much success they've had in recent history, and it just does not seem like it turns into postseason success. And now another early playoff exit, and I mean
they're kind of the opposite of the A's. The A's don't try.
They are. They try so hard, get all the stars, and can't really do anything. The A's are just out there having fun and somehow winning games.
Yeah.
So,
and don't care if anybody shows.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well,
and they've made life tough on the Lakers with what Ballmer can spend.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
The Lakers just don't have that money that he has.
No, I mean, it's the stats you hear about Ballmer and how much money he has and how many other owners he could, buy and like stuff like that. I mean, it's incredible to even think about how much money he has. And honestly, Brett, the biggest difference between two teams might be the other two teams in baseball, especially now that Shohei has gone to the Dodgers, of the Dodgers and the Angels. I mean,
sure could be. What a lonely existence for the Angels.
It's bad. And then when your star player leaves and he doesn't leave,
forgotten in a big city.
Oh, absolutely. And like, I mean, it'd be one thing if your star player left for Toronto that one.
I just hit
afternoon.
the Google machine.
Okay. Oh no.
Plus or minus $5 billion. Give me Steve Ballmer's net worth.
A plus.
No. You guess the number. I'll give you plus or minus $5 billion. No, it's definitely plus $5.
I was like, that's easy.
No.
I can't even guess. Johnny, floor's yours, man.
I'd say about $7 billion.
No, way over.
$52 billion.
See, I was gonna.
Dang,
guess I was gonna guess like 32.
I didn't give him enough.
I was gonna guess like 32 billion, but then I started thinking that's way too high.
Man, that makes sense, especially when you think about all the other stuff he do. Man, that makes sense.
That's crazy. I don't
he
care.
He can do anything he wants to do.
Yeah, I don't care about all the other stuff he does. That's a ton of money. Like that's insane. I can't even fathom that much money.
68 years old.
Good for him.
Way to go, Steve.
That's great.
Good life.
Amazing life.
And still more life to live.
Went to Harvard and cashed it in, didn't he?
I guess so. I guess that's the perks.
I'm reading his whole bio now.
Are
wow.
You? Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Give us the biography when we come back.
Bachelor of Arts at Harvard.
Love that.
Occupation businessman. Imagine
Love
that.
it. Imagine that.
Former CEO of Microsoft, co-founder of the Ballmer Group, owner of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Wow.
Spouse Connie, married 1990. Good work, Connie.
Shout out Connie. How about that? Well, let's go ahead and get to
Way to go, Connie.
Way to go, Connie.
Boy, I bet your dad loves having the son-in-law he's got.
I mean, who wouldn't? Who's this you brought home? Okay, yeah, that checks out. Let's get to a break, though. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe. Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy. Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big. Big Daddy. The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, my big number today, I could have had a couple big numbers from this weekend. It was a fun weekend of sports with a lot of different numbers to choose from. But I have two big numbers. I punted. I was going to go with one big number, but now I have two big numbers because I just remembered another one that I wanted to bring to the table. So I have a basketball big number. I have a baseball big number. Johnny, which one would you like to hear first?
Let's go with baseball.
All right, good choice. My big number to start us off today is the number 28. Yes, 28.
Ooh, very close to mine.
Ooh, I love that. All right. On Saturday, Brent Rooker hit 2 home runs in the same inning in the A's 20-4 win over the Marlins. Rooker, he's well known here in this area after attending ECS in high school and Mississippi State in college, so a fan favorite in this area. He's the 60th player in Major League Baseball history to homer twice in the same inning, and he's not the first A's to do it, because the last A's player to do it was Mark McGwire against Seattle on September 22nd, 1996, 28 years ago. How about that?
That's nice. I like it.
Which you think that what a phenomenal feat and how rare that is. Think about Fernando Tatis for the Cardinals in 1999 hitting 2 grand slams in the same inning off of the same pitcher. To leave him in there that long.
That is the biggest surprise of all of it, is that 2 grand slams, same inning, same pitcher, because that never happens.
Just to be good enough to make the show, to be good enough to hit a home run in the show, to be good enough to hit 2 in your life, much less 2 in a game, do it twice in the inning, like Rooker did. Phenomenal feat.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I got one more big number, and it comes from the NBA. We talk about how good Ant Edwards has been this playoffs.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
He's really been fun to watch, and he looked really, really good against the Nuggets on Saturday. He broke 40 points for a second straight time. It's been back-to-back 40-plus point games. So my big number is the number 40. As it stands right now, only 2 players, 22 years or younger, have scored 40 or more in consecutive playoff games. Anthony Edwards did it in his last 2 games. The only other person to do it, Kobe Bryant. So how about that, Kobe Bryant, when he first hit the scene?
Incredible company.
Just incredible. Him and Kobe. I mean, what better company to be in? If
You
for,
said
for a record.
22 years old for Anthony Edwards. He does not turn 23 until August.
That's crazy.
Opening night next year, he will be 23. How old was he when they were here?
That's great
with Georgia
question.
that year?
I
What was
mean,
that? January of 2000. So he was 18.
Yeah, that's crazy.
At just 18 and a half. Yeah,
Sure. I mean, barely 18. That's crazy.
It really is. My big number is 24, and it's from baseball, and it's for Willie Mays, who celebrates his 93rd birthday today. Baseball's greatest living player. Forever, Joe DiMaggio required you at any introduction. If you had him in as a speaker, first thing he was worried about was the speaker's fee. The next thing, he made them have the introduction of Joltin' Joe, the Yankee Clipper, and in the introduction, baseball's greatest living player.
Wow.
Well, that's Willie Mays now at 93, and he is the oldest member of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Crazy. Yeah, I did not know today was his birthday. Johnny Radio brought it up to me earlier today that it was his birthday, so a big happy birthday to him. What is today? May 6th, so good birthday to have. I found out a lot of people have May birthdays. I don't know what it is about
it's very
May,
popular.
but a lot of people have May birthdays.
And for me, with Willie Mays, Brian, one time we were down at one of the casinos right after they opened in Tunica. I'm going to say about 96 or 97. And he was a pitch man for one of them. So he was in town, and I told the crew that we went down for, I said, let me tell y'all something. It's not going to be any Joe Cool, I do this every day. It's Willie Mays.
Yeah, no, there's no holding back. It's Willie Mays. That's incredible.
And he was so nice to everyone.
Awesome. I love that. That's great. You know, they say never meet your heroes because they don't turn out, but I guess Willie Mays is not like that.
He did. I failed to mention last week that the golf TV announcer, Peter Oosterhouse, was on CBS Forever. He passed away last week, and I didn't get a chance to mention. He was here forever covering our tournament. And when you're talking about how nice Willie Mays was, Peter Oosterhouse, one time out at the golf tournament, I was in the mornings here and getting ready to go on. It was early in the morning. He's out there, early on a Wednesday, Thursday morning. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, hey, when I get through today, can I come in and tape you and we run it tomorrow? He goes, what time's your show live? I said, about 5 minutes. He goes, oh, I'll come out there and do it with you now.
Wow.
He started the show with us.
Holy cow.
And he passed away deep in the throes of dementia and neurological things. But I also wanted to make this point about it, and I want to be very sensitive. I'm sad over Peter Oosterhouse's his passing and the circumstances. And again, it was neurologically related. Brian, if it was a 76-year-old football player that passed away of something neurological, you know what the lead story would be?
It would be the
football killed
concussions and CTE and stuff like that.
Tell me the time Peter Oosterhouse ever took one to the noggin on the golf course.
Hopefully never.
Why do we always jump to blaming football?
That is true, Brett, and you hear more and more, man. You hear more and more.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to study it. I think we need to be sensitive to it. I think we need to watch out for it. But let's quit trashing football.
Well, that's a good point because it's not always football, and we just quick
Brian,
to jump on it.
And the real irony is in the ALS world, the worst neurological thing you can have, Lou Gehrig's disease. Sure. It's about a 55-45 percentile male to female ratio of getting Lou Gehrig's of ALS. When did the 45% females play football?
Never.
And every time it's a former NFL player that gets ALS. Oh, football did it to him. Football did it to him.
Yep.
I know there's problems, and I know we got to address them, but let's quit trashing football.
No, I'm absolutely with you on that, and I wish we would be able to do that, but unfortunately, I don't think I don't think it's easy for people to do that. It's very easy to just say, oh, football did it. But let's go ahead and wrap up this hour and get to a break. And when we come back to start our third and final hour, DeMichael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal, he'll join us. We'll talk some Grizzlies. We'll also talk the NBA playoffs. That's next on Sports Time.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Burgess. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Burgess Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. And 6-1, visit staples.com/print for details.
I think a lot about golf, and when I think golf, I think Miramichi. Did you know Miramichi Golf Course offers membership? It's a great way to play more golf for less out of pocket. Their memberships run for $300 a month plus tax, and that includes unlimited rounds and range balls, no extra card fees, priority tee time booking, and discounts in the pro shop. Oh, by the way, there's no initiation fee. Miramichi green fees, they'll allow you to choose the right rate at the right time on the right day for your needs. If morning tee times are more important, you can book up to 14 days ahead of time to reserve your spot. If rate is more important to you, there are discounted evening rates available that you can choose from. You'll find the lowest rates on Tuesday through Thursday afternoons. Sometimes you just need to escape the hustle and bustle of life. Miramichi Golf Course provides just the right place to solve that need. The name Miramichi means place of happy retreat. When you need a quiet, peaceful round of golf, please make your way to Miramichi.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. They're still on the scene of a crash over here with some injuries. I'm looking at it live right now. It's got the right lane blocked. It's 40 eastbound at Hollywood. It's got traffic pretty slow now over here on this side of town as you come past that 101 connector, Watkins, as you work your way towards Hollywood on 40 going eastbound. Again, this crash involving some injuries. Pretty crowded over here right now as we check it out live on 240 going eastbound as you work your way up past Poplar. A crash on 240 west at Mount Mariah's also got it tied up pretty good as well. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, DeMichael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. He joins us now. Talk some Grizzlies and the NBA playoffs. DeMichael, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start off with some Grizz talk before we get into the NBA playoffs. You had a story posted to the Commercial Appeal earlier today talking about Tariq Biberovic, the other player drafted by the Grizzlies in the second round last year, kind of the draft and stash guy, came over here, played in Summer League, but then went back and played for his professional team overseas. What has he been doing overseas, and what does his outlook look like in terms of maybe joining the Grizzlies at some point?
I tell you what, and I don't want to sound too optimistic or really kind of get people hopes too high or anything like that, but I'll put it like this: when they drafted him, it went over my head. Oh, okay, he's drafting stash guy. Yeah, we'll see. You never know what's going to come of it. But seeing him play this season has been really impressive. And when I say impressive, most people will see that. For like in the Turkish league that he's playing in, he averaged 10.4 points per game in 22 minutes. And then people see that and go straight to sleep. So, that's nothing,
Sure.
But it's deeper than that. For one, if you follow the Euro League, averaging 10 points per game at the age of 22 is a big deal in the Euro League. Mm-hmm. You got to think about it. A lot of the players from the Euro League, it's like on his team, like on the team Fenerbahce, in particular, like I can list some of the names for you. You guys are going to recognize them. Nick Collectis, of course, you know him.
Yeah.
Scotty Wilbekin played in Florida. Mm-hmm. Nigel Hayes was on that Wisconsin team that went to the national championship game. Tyler Dorsey played with Dylan Brooks in college and probably was the best player on that Oregon team when they went to the Final Four. Georgios Papagiannis was a first round pick for the Kings, 13th, 14th. Jonathan Motley played with Baylor, was also played in the NBA. Like, these are great college basketball players that probably went to the league, NBA for a couple years, and then they found their footing in these leagues. So all of them are way older than him. Now, with all that being said, getting to what Biberovic has done, 10.4 points per game at 22. He's 23 now. But here's the part that stands out to me, guys, when you talk about him projecting with the Grizzlies. Fenerbahce has the Turkish League season, then they play in the Euro League, with the Euro League playoffs going on right now. In the Euro League, which is the second best league in the world, without a doubt, behind the NBA, he took 2.6 three-point attempts per game, 56.9% from three-point range, 25 games. In 24 games in the Turkish League they played in, he took 3.8 three-pointers a game, made 1.5, so shot 40% from three-point range. So we're talking about good volume in both. 49-game sample size here, where he's shooting, way above 40% from three-point range against competition where these are players who some of them are better than these guys getting 10-day contracts in the NBA. If we're just being honest, like the NBA is not a sustainable. The NBA is a young league. Like, they're looking for the young talent, not 30-year-old guys like Scotty Wilbekin or Nigel Hayes that are more established. So with that being said, he's doing it against really good talent. But the thing that stands out to me is he's 6'6", and he's a shooter. I just went over the three-point numbers. and that's how he could project in Memphis. I don't think the 10.4 points per game or however he averages over there really doesn't matter because you know the team right now is built around Ja, Dez, and Jaren. It's all about the complementary pieces. That's why everybody loves Vince Williams, you know, because he's such a great complementary piece to those guys. Tariq Biberovic just looks like a nice complementary piece to those players from the fact of we talked about the Luke Kennard situation, right? 1 year left on the deal, team option $14.7 million. You got a backup plan with a guy like this who can come over here, and the way he's shooting the basketball over there, I don't see how it wouldn't project. Like, people got the EuroLeague's worst team would be better than the best team in college basketball. Like, it's not even close. So he's doing it against better competition than guys like Gigi Jackson played against in college, and his numbers look sustainable. So that kind of leads me to believe that there is a role for him in Memphis if they want him, you know, to come over here. The story that I wrote, the conversation kind of was centered around, you know, he's in wait-and-see mode at this point. Like, it sounds more like he will come over. If he comes over, it'll be next season, not this upcoming season. It'll be the 2025, 2026 NBA season.
So you don't think we see him opening night run out to the line of 24-25?
And I think it's just because of the way the roster's set up. Sure. That's all. It's you know, it's something he talked about as well, but it's just there's not a lot of spots. And someone like that, you have him kind of in your back pocket as the draft and stash guy. He's still under contract with Fenerbahce until 2026, but he has an NBA opt-out every year. So basically, whenever the Grizzlies want him, they can come get him.
He's theirs.
They can say, hey, time to come to Memphis. And he has an NBA opt-out in his contract. But at this moment, with the way, you know, we've talked about how the roster, I mean, you're talking about a couple free roster spots at this point, and you got a first-round pick, you got a need for big. It just doesn't look like it'll be the room necessarily at this point. If they don't have the room, he's someone that I think they'll say, okay, we can wait on that end. You know, he play another year in the EuroLeague, continue to improve his game, and potentially come over the next season after this upcoming one.
DeMichael, interesting how you compare it, and you talk about the worst team there compared to the best college team. I was watching the NBA draft several years ago. I'm going to say draft 18 or 2018, 2019, a good while back now. And I love Fran Fraschilla on college basketball because it's just the facts, Jack. It's no show. It's no nicknames. He just gives you the goods. And I so love that, and I want so much more out of that from analysts across sports. Anyway, and he's Mr. International Basketball. Yeah, and he's just great. And he was saying that night, and he said it in that understated, nice, delivered style. He wasn't trying to rip on anybody. He loves college basketball. His life is because of it. He makes money from it. But he said right now, international basketball is AAA baseball, and American college basketball is low AA.
Yep. I think that's a perfect way to put it. I mean, just look at the names. Like, people will recognize the names. We just talked about some popular guys, and that's just one team. Like, that's just Fenerbahce. That's the team that he plays with, Biberovic plays with. And, I mean, Tyler Dorsey was an All-American in college, and he's much older now, so his game is way better. Jonathan Motley was one of the best players in the Big 12, you know, at Baylor. Nigel Hayes was one of the best players in the country, you know, at Wisconsin. So you talk about all these type of basically All-American college basketball players on one team with improved games from those years. That's what he's playing with. So, yeah, I think it's a good situation. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be some star or something like that when he comes here. The comp that he gets from people out there is Bogdan Bogdanovic. And if he's anything close to that, you won. Yeah. I mean, Bogdan Bogdanovic is a perennial Sixth Man of the Year candidate every year.
Absolutely. That'd be massive. That's a great comparison, I think. Obviously, the lottery is this weekend, so I know a lot of excitement starting to build for the Grizzlies and what could happen during that draft lottery. What do you expect to see? And we talked, the last couple of weeks about their chances in the lotteries. What do you think the Grizzlies' chances are of maybe jumping up higher or staying with that number 7 pick?
Man, this is a funny one because you're either going with history or the numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers tell you that the Grizzlies will likely end up with the 8th pick or potentially the 7th pick. The history which is the last 5 years that the draft has went to this format where the top three teams, the lowest three teams all have 14% chances of the number one pick, and that's kind of altered the odds of the other team. Since then, the team that's been at number 7, 4 of the 5 years they moved up. And we know the way that the draft works is if you're at 7, you can't jump up to 5 or 6. You can go from 7 to the top 4. So basically, 4 of the last 5 years, the team that's been in the spot that the Grizzlies in has ended up with a top 4 pick. And we know that's prime territory to get, that big, that Alexander Sarr, that Donovan Clingan, that could come in and make an immediate impact in Memphis. So with that being said, I think this is a weekend of clarity. This weekend is going to shape up the entire offseason. If the Grizzlies don't land in the top 4, if the odds are right and they end up at 8, 9, 7, or whatever the case may be, now we're talking more about potentially trading that pick or moving it around some type of way. If they get in the top 4, you have the capabilities to address the big man right then and there.
Sure do.
And that kind of reshapes the way we look at the offseason as well.
It's a really big night, isn't it? How the ping pong balls fall.
It is. It's a big one. Because it shapes the offseason. Like right now, they're just in a holding pattern. They can't really do much except evaluate guys.
That's right.
This is going to shape up how they look at free agency, potential signing trades, all of that. Everything starts with the lottery. So it's a big deal for this franchise.
I wonder if inside the organization, the basketball people, maybe even some of the business side and the marketing side, if they're watching Minnesota and they're like me, you respect it, you recognize it, you're kind of cheering for it, but it makes you madder than hell because the Grizzlies 2 years ago were ahead of them, and now they have zoomed past Memphis.
It's a couple teams that stand out to me like that, Brett. Like I think that's a big storyline when you talk about the Grizzlies' perspective of watching the playoffs. Like they beat Oklahoma City 2.5 years ago by 73 points. Like a lot of those guys that are on the roster now were still on that roster back then.
Yeah.
Those guys were on the roster. So that Oklahoma City, who would have thought at that time, hey, Oklahoma's going to be the 1 seed and Memphis won't be in the playoffs in a couple of years. You'll see it. No one would have thought that. And then, of course, with the Timberwolves, they beat them. Anthony Edwards played in that series. Karl Anthony Towns. I think Jaden McDaniels, was around then as well. And they beat that team. 6 games, a lot of fourth-quarter comebacks. So, there was definitely some inexperience with the Timberwolves. But I thought at that time and in the last couple of years, the Grizzlies have kind of been the team that's the young core, with Ja Morant and Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson Jr. They've been the young core that's been in prime position to take that leap. And now we've seen a couple teams kind of jump in front of them in the West.
We were going to be the team that the torch got passed to, that the changing of the guard was going to go through Memphis. And I know a lot of people right now are listening going, have you not heard about the injuries? Yeah, I know about the injuries, and it's legit. It is very legit. But before the injuries, Ja Morant's actions destabilized this franchise.
Yeah, it was tough, right? Because it forced some decisions to be made, like decisions like going out to sign Derrick Rose, trading for Marcus Smart. I mean, those guys, looking back on it now, they fit the team culture here. But do the Grizzlies go get Derrick Rose if Ja Morant, isn't going through those situations? Do they trade for Marcus Smart, a 10-year vet that at that time had been to the playoffs every season of his career? So a lot of other decisions were made. There was also, the reports, like I think Shams reported, like in the locker room where certain players or whatever the case may be, weren't too big of a fan of what was going on with Ja Morant at the time. And if you look at the roster, I'm not trying to just read between the lines. The guys who are not here anymore were some of the most outspoken players. Whether Kyle Anderson was a very big voice, and Steven Adams was a big voice, and guys like that. So the rest of the guys like Desmond Bain, he's grown into that role. Those guys were more established. Dylan Brooks, same thing. Like those guys were the bigger voices who, you could see being frustrated with those type of things. Like we got business to take care of. We shouldn't be having these type of problems. Mm-hmm. So I do think it's fair to say that Ja Morant, actions on the floor and off the floor have kind of reshaped the timeline and the outlook, on this team the last couple of years.
And here's what scares me on kind of a notice about going forward, DeMichael. If you go an injury-free year and if you go no problems off the floor, Ja Morant's not getting any bigger. He's still that smaller player that I'm afraid it's almost impossible to go without injury with that body.
Yeah, but here's the thing I'll say, to that, because yes, that is very clear to me too. That small as he is in the way that he plays, like you're talking about a guy who plays this brand of basketball where he's going right to the rim relentlessly, constantly. And this season, we didn't get to see it play out much because he only played 9 games, but I remember having a conversation with him, and he was telling me that he's not going to be going to the rim just to dunk on guys as much. And he said it in the press conference, too, in some words. He's not going to do as much of that anymore. He's going to go to the rim. He's just going to lay the ball in. And I think all of that will help. Think about Kyrie Irving as opposed to a Derrick Rose. I think those two guys that get to the rim a lot, but they did it at a young age in very different ways. Mm-hmm. Russell Westbrook, same thing. Like, as explosive as Russell Westbrook is, we've seen the knee, problems and things like that he's had over the course, of his career. Still a super athletic guy, but he's nowhere near, what he once was. Same thing for Derrick Rose. Still probably one of the quickest guards when you're talking about his shiftiness. But the up and down, like the vertical leaping ability isn't there as much, whereas Kyrie pretty much looks the same. So I think Ja Morant has it in his mind now that I can't just go to – if you watch that Lakers series over, like, guys, I watched it towards the end of the regular season. I don't know what made me just go watch some of just what was happening. Ja's body just was reckless abandon. That was seriously hurt his hand. Like, he fell over Anthony Davis LeBron James while he was just in midair, and his body, was torpedo in, a plane, and it just was it's wild, wrestling-type stuff. But he said he's going to be smarter with his body, and I think that could have a positive benefit when you talk about him playing 65-plus games, and qualifying for these awards and just being healthy, with his Grizzlies team.
Yeah. We're going to DeMichael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer at the Commercial Appeal. DeMichael, we've got 2 playoff games tonight, one series starting between the Pacers and the Knicks. Jalen Brunson's just so much fun to watch. He was awesome in that first round against the 76ers. How do you think this series plays out, and who do you think wins between the Knicks and the Pacers?
Man, I'm actually going to go with the Pacers in this one.
Wow.
I'm going to go with the Pacers. Look, I think at the end of the day, the Knicks are playing 6 guys.
Yeah.
It's just how long can you realistically get away with that? And the 6 guys are really good. That's why they're good. There aren't any weaknesses, so to speak, with those 6 guys. But you got 4 guys pretty much playing 40 minutes. Then you got Hartenstein and Miles McBride mixing in time, and then Mitchell Robinson, your 7th guy, getting 15 minutes or so. It's just, when you play a team like the Pacers, 2nd best offense in the NBA by offensive rating, they're going to get up and down. They play this up brand. I just think over the course of the series, and this is going to sound backwards, guys, because we're used to Tom Thibodeau type team wearing the opponent down. Mm-hmm. I think it could potentially be reversed. I think if the Pacers say we're going to get up and down, and we're gonna make if Jalen Brunson or Josh Hart wants to play 48 minutes against us, we're gonna make them feel it. We're gonna make them feel that 48 minutes. And I think over the course of the series, high-powered offense, they're healthier. The Knicks just lost Bogdanovich. We already know about Julius Randle and some of the other injuries that they dealt with. I'm a little bit more confident in that team and what they have. I think Siakam has found a nice role there. Him. Halliburton has a nice combination. Miles Turner in your front court as well. I'm leaning Pacers.
I like that pick, DeMichael, and I like this Indiana team. In this question, I really phrase it complimentary. Who's the face of the Pacers? Who's the singular face of the Indiana Pacers?
I think it's Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's there. To a lesser degree, he's their Ja Morant, from the standpoint of You know, he has this flashy style of play. You know, it's not with the elite athleticism with him. It's with the flashy passing, the nice crafty dribble moves with the deep three-point shots. So he's fun to watch. He has this big, bright personality. You know, he's funny. He laughs a lot. He just like Ja used to do, he snaps back at the Twitter critics every now and then. He talks a little trash. You know, we saw him talking trash with Patrick Beverly in that last series. So he mixes it up a little bit. Like, he's that type of guy that you can see they're going to build around for a while.
Yeah. Well, the other game we've got tonight in the NBA, Nuggets and Timberwolves, Game 2. Timberwolves able to take the first one. Anthony Edwards has just been unbelievable throughout this playoffs. What did you make of that first game from the Timberwolves to get that win on the road, and how do you think this series plays out?
Yeah, so I posted my predictions last week, guys, and I said Timberwolves. I wanted to, honestly, to be honest with you, I wanted to say Timberwolves in 6, but I had to give the Nuggets the respect that they deserve, and I said Timberwolves in 7 because I felt like they'd take, you know, a game in Denver. But now, I mean, Timberwolves in 7 would mean taking 2 home games in Denver, which would be wild. But with all that being said, the Timberwolves it's just a perfectly built team to me. Like in the modern NBA, it's the Timberwolves are the team that I think other NBA teams, when you talk about, like when Steph Curry took over for Golden State in 2015, and you saw rosters changing in the NBA. Teams didn't care about power forwards that shoot mid-range jumpers anymore. Steph Curry shifted that. I think the Timberwolves, from the standpoint of everyone likes to play small, and we saw Kevin Durant at the 4 in that last series, sounds good, but Karl Anthony Towns is a problem at the 5. What do you think is going to happen when you put one of these 6'7", 215-pound usual small forwards on him? That's a huge mismatch every night. Now, the defense is what stands out. Number 1 defense in NBA. But it's the Mike. Mike Conley is the weakest defender in their starting lineup, and we know what Mike Conley is defensively. And he was an all-league defender at one point in Memphis. And that's saying something because he's still very crafty and smart on the defensive end. But they have an extraordinary length, like Anthony Edwards, terrific defender. Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, when he's not fouling, plays terrific defense. And Rudy Gobert, I mean, his name speaks for itself, his awards. I think they're just built to handle a team like the Nuggets, like in so many different ways. Like, the Nuggets have so many advantages offensively that this team has the ability to counter. Like the Nuggets, it's hard to defend Jokic, right? Well, this is the one team that has 3 guys that can say, hey, we can throw 3 guys at him and say, hey, if he beats all 3 of them, so be it. A lot of teams don't have those capabilities. Like the Lakers, for crying out loud, starts the series with Rui Hachimura guarding. Like, that's the situation that teams are in. But Michael Porter is the X factor from them most of the time because he's a 6'10" small forward, and they play him at small forward. On most teams in modern NBA, remember, he would be playing power forward just because he's 6'10", stretch 4 type guy. But in Denver, we saw Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell having to guard him, and he's posting them up. Easy shot, just shooting over the top of him. Yeah. The Nuggets, I mean, the Timberwolves got Jaden McDaniels. Now he can't do that. And so they match up so well because they're just big. Yeah. And they're not big, they're great defenders. So it's going to be a series that really tests the Nuggets, I think, more than any other series they've played in this championship window.
Wow. It's going to be fun to watch. I mean, that is one that when it's, became final that those 2 teams were going to face each other, you circled it. You knew what day it was going to start on. I think the excitement levels are through the roof for that one. But it's going to be a fun next couple of weeks to see these NBA playoffs play out. DeMichael, as always, thanks so much for joining us. And when we talk to you again next week, we'll know where the Grizzlies are drafting in the upcoming draft.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun, guys. I'm telling you, that clarity is going to tell us everything we need to know, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, DeMichael. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal joining us to talk the NBA.
Powerball numbers drop tomorrow night, don't they?
That's right. Yeah. No. This weekend.
This weekend. That's right. They moved off of
Tuesday
Tuesday night.
Yeah,
That's right. That's
no
right.
Tuesdays anymore. It's like Sunday afternoon at like 2 o'clock.
That's it.
Don't know if I like it or not.
I'm sorry.
But, no, you're all good.
I was used to it kind of in between games on Tuesday night. But
yeah.
Elliott Perry, work your magic.
Oh, man. Elliott Perry, do your thing. He's had so much success there. Maybe we can get more success this year.
Let our big number of the day be number 34 for Elliott Perry with the Memphis Tigers.
Absolutely. So, no, I'm excited about the draft lottery. And finally, it will be great to finally know exactly where they're picking, so then you can actually talk about who's probably going to be in that range, who could they realistically draft, instead of just kind of throwing darts and trying to figure it out.
We just did it, and we did it honestly, innocently, unplanned.
Yeah.
And I've always said there's no person ever in the history of sports that you can just mention their name and the room smiles like Yogi Berra.
Oh, yeah.
We just did it with Elliott Perry, and anytime his name is brought up, people are fond about him.
Yeah, I think
that's remarkable for him.
Everybody
really
loves him.
And his last game on the floor for the Tigers was what, 1989?
Yeah.
And loved.
Oh, it's incredible, and how it kind of goes between generations, and not just the.
And then you run into him, and you really smile.
Absolutely. So that will be a lot of fun over the weekend, though, and I know everybody here in Memphis will have their eyes on the lottery to see how those ping pong balls drop. But let's go ahead and get to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Anticipation is building for Memphis football.
3, 2, 1, that's your winner!
With a cast of returning stars ready for the big stage.
Caught! Rock Taylor! Touchdown Tigers!
The momentum for Memphis football is on the rise.
Harrigan into the end zone. Tiger touchdown. He just wouldn't be denied.
It's time to pounce. So purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGo.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseburgers.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
This Mother's Day, let's celebrate the woman who held our scraped knees, cheered our victories, and nurtured our dreams, and show her the love she deserves. Of course, there's no single gift that can truly express the depths of our love, but this Mother's Day at Genesis Diamonds will help you find something truly special. From sparkling diamonds to timeless pearls to colored gemstones, we have it all. And the trusted experts at Genesis are here to help you find the perfect piece that helps you say, "Thank you, Mom." It's a perfect time to see the amazing collection of exclusive and acclaimed jewelry designers at Genesis, like Gabriel & Company, Shy Creation, Tacori, A. Jaffe, Simon G., and more. You can find all the mothers in your life something unique, handcrafted and beautiful. Jewelry she can wear and appreciate every day. Mom deserves the best. Let us help make this Mother's Day truly unforgettable with something affordable yet timeless. Happy Mother's Day from Genesis Diamonds. On Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Bobbing up a couple of wrecks out here. One over to the side, pretty good there on 240 westbound at Mount Moriah. This one's in its clearing stages out here on 40 eastbound at Hollywood. This is what's been causing some problems out here. This particular crash causing a slowdown just because of where it is this time of the afternoon and all that rush hour traffic over there on that side of town. Again, they're trying to clear it 40 east at Hollywood. It remains slow go on 240 east trying to get past Poplar. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got a little bit less than 30 minutes left in today's show. A lot to get to during What's Trending, but I did want to mention, I brought it up with my not top story of the day, but Tigers been very active. Football Tigers have been very active over this last couple, 24 hours. Got 2 commitments last night. From the spring portal. Also, a lot of buzz around a pair of 4-star prospects in the class of 2025. Well, like right after we talked about that, Jonah Dillon reported that Memphis has picked up another commitment out of the transfer portal. Offensive tackle Chris Adams from Old Dominion has announced that he's committing to Memphis. He announced it on Instagram. He committed to Washington a few days ago, but has now flipped it from the University of Washington to Memphis. So from Old Dominion, obviously a lot of people will think fondly of those Old Dominion ties after what Blake Watson did last year. So it seems like another really, really good pickup for Memphis, a guy that obviously had offers out there from the P5 ranks if he committed to Washington, and now it looks like will be coming to Memphis to be a part of Ryan Silverfield's program.
I think if Dead Fish wanted you, Ryan Silverfield's glad to have you.
Absolutely. So I have been really, really pleased with what I've seen Ryan Silverfield do in the portal and on the recruiting trail, and I think should be a lot of excitement around what he's doing.
And someone could very fairly go, well, wait a second, Brett, you sound like you're a little more hype playing along for the football Tiger off-season hype than you are the basketball Tiger off-season hype. Well, you'd be exactly right that I am, because they've done something.
Yeah, sure.
They finished the year with double-digit wins, 10 wins in a football conference that is much tougher than the basketball version of the AAC, and with a 4-year starter at quarterback and what we know he can do. You darn right I sound a little more optimistic about what Tiger football can do as opposed to Tiger basketball wanting to hang banners in May.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, obviously, football comes first, and I think there should be a lot more talk, conversation, and excitement about the football team, like you said, with what they did last year. I think all of the excitement. I mean, to play in the Liberty Bowl against a good Iowa State team and just completely dominate that game. And
Best they play all year.
Oh, absolutely. And then what has happened this offseason to be able to retain Seth Hennigan, bring back a lot of other weapons, and now get some really good pickups. I was talking earlier with Zach Boyd, and I said this was probably about a month ago, maybe a couple months ago, I think right before spring practices really started. And I was listening to a national college football podcast. I think it was the one that CBS Sports does. And they were kind of talking about storylines for spring and different teams going into spring practice.
Who kind of runs the point for that? Who's that host on that?
I am sorry, I do
that
not.
was Barrett Sallee, but he left there, didn't he?
But he's not with him anymore.
Yeah.
I can see him, but I cannot remember his name. So
Adam Zagoria?
No, it's not Zagoria.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
I'll look it up in a second because I do need to give them credit. But they were talking about different teams and stuff, and I believe the one team they were talking about was Auburn, and they said, well, quarterback could be an issue again this year for Auburn. They really need to go out and get a quarterback that they can rely on. And one of the other hosts of the show said, I think Seth Hennigan, the quarterback at Memphis, would be a great fit for Auburn. And I said,
they came after him.
whoa. And that's what one of the other ones said. One of the other guys said, well, I think he's I think he's good at Memphis. I don't think he's leaving Memphis. From what I've heard is there were a couple teams that tried to reach out to him, and he declined, said he wanted to run it back at Memphis. So, they have a quarterback, like you were just saying, Brett, a 4-year starter that there are teams out there that would love to have a Seth Hennigan as their quarterback, but he wants to stay
about
here.
100.
Oh, absolutely. And he wants to stay here, and I think Memphis should be feeling really, really good about what this team can accomplish. And we talked to Greg last week. He talked about how he heard that confidence in them during their spring game. So, they have the confidence. They know how big of a season this is, and so I think there should be a ton of excitement about it.
Of course, it can change. It's May
Sure.
6th, but my way, way, way too early.
Okay.
And Thursday we get NFL full schedule Thursday.
That's right.
And then I'm going to say it about a week, maybe 2 weeks. Then the bowl games will fill in for college football. We'll get a little more college football clarity on TV times, the end of the month down at Destin and at spring meetings for the various conferences. But my way too early Liberty Bowl prediction, Coach Prime representing the Big 12.
Whoa.
Against the man that thinks he should be Coach Prime, Hugh Freeze at Auburn.
Whoa! Wow.
Colorado and Auburn in the Liberty Bowl.
Holy cow! That would draw.
It would.
That would do well. I'd be there.
That'd be an easy sell.
It would be a very easy sell if you could get Colorado
But
there.
with the stadium, I mean, can you actually sell?
That's a good point. With all the construction that's going to be going on,
And it's really right now. Most of Phase 1, we can't see it. It's in the bowels of the stadium and getting everything really kind of reconfigured. Right now, well, I was told by someone that knows that complex well that there's a lot of different data points out there. They want to centralize that, and that's what's being done now. The start of moving the press box to the east side is underway now. Phase 2, that'll be more brick and mortar, and the money's there for Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 2 will really start, and then you'll be able to drive by and see it with stuff coming down, and most importantly, that wretched old press box.
Yes.
And it needs to come down, and seating on that side. And then Phase 3, the money's not there yet for Phase 3. We'll see. So this year for Tiger home games, I think they can accommodate, if they just had to, for everybody being safe and not an active construction zone, I think they can take it up to about 28,000.
Okay.
And for the Liberty Bowl, give or take that, maybe a smidge more.
Yeah.
And that's Colorado and Auburn.
Sure.
That would sell out quickly.
Very quickly.
At the end of Phase 2, the capacity at the end of that before Phase 3 will be 42,000.
Okay. Interesting.
And we're at about 59 now.
Yeah.
And it reached the heights of 87, chasing the NFL. Got up to about 67,000.
Wow.
The record for that stadium, I'm pretty sure, is Tigers beating Tennessee November 9th, 1996, and turnstile count that day, and it was legit. It was elbow to elbow, was just under 67,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
So we've really reduced way down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, but that's going to be interesting kind of how it plays out. And, we say it every time when we kind of talk about these plans of construction and how they're going to go. I mean, it's necessity. You gotta
It's
do
where we
it.
are.
And so you just have to go through these pains.
You got to put a new roof on the house every now and then.
Got to. You got to get a paint job going. You got to get fresh paint on there. You got to do those things.
And that complex is in need of more than a roof and paint.
No, it definitely needs a lot.
It does. Speaking of list and hype, I said, slow down on the hype. Have you seen 24/7's rankings for portal teams?
No, I have
in
not.
college basketball.
No.
Here they are. I've got them
Please.
fresh off the
Wow,
interwebs.
Absolutely.
Number 1, Mr. May and Mr. Hype, John Calipari at Arkansas. 2, Indiana. 3, Kansas. 4, West Virginia. 5, Kentucky.
Wow.
6, Alabama. 7, Michigan. 8, UCLA. 9, Memphis Tigers.
How about
10,
that?
Missouri Tigers. 11, Ole Miss.
Wow.
12, Ohio State. 13, Illinois. 14, Texas. 15, USC.
Wow. All right. So Memphis.
Not a single 5-star in that group.
Wow. Interesting.
It's 4-star laden, and I think that's one of the easiest cop-outs out there is to say somebody's a 4-star.
Oh, yeah, 4-star. Give them a 4-star. That's a good point. I've never really thought about it like that, but you're absolutely right. 4-star is kind of a cop-out.
It's a lot of 4-stars.
A lot of 4-stars. I'm glad you brought that up, and I love to see that the Tigers and Ole Miss are so high. But, Brett, we have almost forgotten. I mean, we have completely forgotten what our main point of this segment was. We got to make NHL Stanley Cup playoff.
Oh, I'm
picks,
sorry,
Brett.
Brian. Thank you for. What clerical error we were about to make, Brian.
I mean, the listening public are sitting out there
I
on
know
the
they
edge
are.
of their seats
And
going,
we
when
had
are they going to
threatened them
make their
for 2.5 hours with it.
I mean, good Lord, I apologize.
No problems. All right, we all went group lock Friday on the Rangers. Boston and Florida. Who you got, Brian?
You know what? I'll take the Florida Panthers in this one. Let's see if they can keep it going. Unbelievable team at home. I think they get it done.
Johnny Hill.
I got Boston.
All right. No group
Johnny,
lock
I'm
here.
sorry to do this to you. I'm with Brian.
Uh-oh.
Now,
we have blood on the ice.
Through 8 series, Bryant leads 6-2. I'm at 5-3.
Puck guy.
Johnny, 2-6.
Ooh, Johnny.
Well, Brett, I can't ice skate, man. So I'm struggling now here,
Johnny,
man.
I can't ice skate. I can't roller skate. Me on skates is a good way to end up in traction. Colorado versus Dallas. Give me Dallas.
Give me, we'll take a stab out here. Let's go Colorado.
Give me Dallas.
Oh, wow. Coming off top ropes there, Johnny.
And that crowd for their closeout game.
Oh, yeah.
And then all Canada, Vancouver and Edmonton. I'm taking Vancouver because they've never won the Stanley Cup. I'm pulling for them.
I'm going to go with the Oilers here. I think they're a really, really good team. I think they can win it all, so I'll take them over the Canucks.
I got the Oilers, too.
I love it.
You're ganging up on me with Edmonton.
All
right, geographically, where is Edmonton in Canada? East, Central, West, where?
Edmonton is
down the east.
East, yes.
It is? I truly don't know.
Oh, I don't
Edmonton's
know.
east?
I guess.
Edmonton on a map.
Give me a Canada map.
It's pretty central.
Is it?
It is
Okay.
pretty central. It is, let's see, it's like north of Montana.
North of Montana.
So if you were in Montana and you just went straight up, you'd be in Edmonton.
That's kind of west, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, not as west. Like Vancouver is like literally on the west coast.
Yeah, it's just above Seattle.
Sure,
Isn't it?
yeah, right above Seattle. So like Edmonton, it's a more center. You don't.
And I just did it. I mean, one of the great neighbors in the history of civilization.
Oh,
yeah. We know nothing about the Canadians.
Nothing about them at all. I mean, I couldn't tell you the difference between Saskatchewan and whatever.
I don't know Manitoba from a Rouge.
No, couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. Don't know anything about them. So, but good for them. Hopefully, maybe they'll go far in hockey this year.
You think? Remember my buddies that worked for Vancouver?
Right.
I sat by a few years ago at Blue Stadium,
and they were so nice to you.
And I hope they're doing well. Good.
I hope they are too.
I'm glad I picked them.
That's right, absolutely, and shame on me for not.
And then my go-to for any opposing fans, especially interleague, like when I go to the Red Sox series.
It's
what do you think
hope
it
to
is?
see you in October. Isn't that right?
Hope to see you in October. Hope you're back here with us at the World Series.
I love that. That is great. Maybe not this year though. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can.
They
say
might
that
pat
this
me
year.
on the head and go, "Little man, your team ain't making
You're
it."
not going anywhere in October. Good Lord. Well, I'm glad we got those picks in just in the nick of time. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Hernando, Little Rock, and Cleveland, Mississippi specializes in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
This show's sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We all have something to get off our chest. Therapy is a safe space to share whatever's weighing you down, so you can get some relief and find a solution. BetterHelp offers professional, affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Start the process in minutes. Switch therapists anytime. Let it out with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/succeed today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/succeed.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's Cool Cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or Cool Cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is Geraldo. It is crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today, the Dallas Mavericks have signed Jason Kidd, their head coach, to a multi-year contract extension. It was announced earlier this morning. He had 1 season remaining on his current contract. Kidd had talked to reporters back in March saying he was hopeful he would receive an extension after being hired in 2021. But now, with the postseason success, with what they've got going with Kyrie and Luka, he has been rewarded that contract extension. I think much deserved. I think getting this team where it is has been really fun to watch. You know, I remember,
and he may be entering his sweet spot in his head coaching years.
Yeah, he really might be. Well, and I remember when Dallas acquired Kyrie Irving, it was kind of, Luka and Kyrie are not going to work together. This is a bad trade. This is a bad decision. This is going to ruin the Mavericks. And for the most part, I would say all in all, things have gone well in Dallas with Luka and Kyrie. You haven't seen kind of that blow up. You haven't seen one guy getting frustrated with the other guy. Seems like they've played well together. They've got good supporting guys around them. And so I think Jason Kidd has done a fantastic job, and I'm glad to see that he got that extension today.
And you've seen Kyrie Irving not be as sensitive to everything that's going on in the world, and there's plenty going on. It's what I said about it at the time. Kyrie, I know you're involved in a lot of things, and I respect that. But there's always a lot of things going on in the world. Your main thing is playing basketball.
That's right.
And that for right now. And there'll be plenty of time at the end for you to get onto that. And also, the Mavericks made that move because they wanted to fend off the Lakers coming after Jason Kidd.
That's right. Yeah, that's a really good point.
And they have, what I learned today, and we talked about it with Big Number, 93 great, glorious years for the Say Hey Kid, baseball's greatest living player, the great Willie Mays, 2-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 24-time All-Star, apropos since he wore number 24, World Series champ, 12 Gold Gloves, 660 home runs, 2-time All-Star MVP, batting champ, and missed a season serving in the United States Army, and part of my favorite sports photograph ever of him going back to make that catch off of the bat of Vic Wertz. That's my favorite sports photo ever.
Yeah, it's a really, really good one. What I could have done without today, UCF basketball fans have been very excited this afternoon after J.J. Taylor, the former Memphis Tiger, announced that he would be transferring to UCF.
Should we tell him?
Well, Brett, I don't know. I think this might be
let them learn
situation.
on their own.
Yeah, let them learn on their own.
Like they had to over Gus.
Exactly. You know, they go out and they get Mikey Williams, and I think a lot of people assumed J.J. Taylor would follow, just like J.J. Taylor followed here to Memphis. So now they've got both of those guys. I believe they have a third. I saw a tweet today that said UCF has now picked up 3 guys that barely ever or never stepped foot on the court at their previous school and got ran off. So it's, I hope.
Good luck, Johnny D.
Yeah, I hope certainly for him that things go well. I hope for those guys it goes well, but it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic play out at UCF.
I really don't. I don't pull for UCF in anything after claiming that national championship that nobody awarded them.
That's fair. That's very.
I'm right with you, Brett.
That was so hokey. Could have done without that leaderboard yesterday at the Byron Nelson. Ready to see TV viewing numbers. Yeah. I'm glad you won for Dave with Taylor Pendrith, but Pendrith, Knowles or Coles, Norin, S.H. Kim, S.W. Kim, Ra, On. Nobody knows who these players are. No. Jason Day was the closest thing they had to a ticket seller over the weekend at the Byron Nelson.
Yes, not great. Not great at all. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to Madison Square Garden in about 38 minutes. the tip will go up. Knicks 5.5-point favorites, and a puncher's chance against Boston if they get that far. But they got to get through Indiana first.
Yeah, no, they absolutely have to. Beam me later tonight to that Timberwolves and Nuggets game. Game 1 was awesome. I think Game 2 will also live up to the hype. So 2 really good NBA games later tonight.
Denver hadn't been in this spot in a long time. Kind of musty winny.
Yeah, they've been the aggressive team. They've been the team, kind of going at it, feeling very comfortable. Now, not feeling as comfortable.
20-win Milwaukee tonight against 20-win Kansas City in baseball.
Some really good baseball matchups tonight. So it'll be a lot of fun watching the baseball, watching the basketball, also a little NHL action as well. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.